All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I am VC Pramod. The headlines. Counting of votes begins for assembly elections in Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh. Counting also underway for by-polls to Mainpuri Lok Sabha seat and 6 assembly constituencies in 5 states. Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar says striking down of National Judicial Appointment Commission by Supreme Court was severe compromise of parliamentary sovereignty and disregard to people's mandate. President Draupadi Murmu to be on a 2-day visit to Uttarakhand beginning today. US to expand its military presence in Australia to counter rising threat of China in the Indo-Pacific. And in cricket, Bangladesh beat India by 5 runs in second ODI to clinch the 3-match series. The counting of votes has begun for assembly elections in Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh. The counting is also underway for by-polls to Mainpuri Lok Sabha seat and 6 assembly constituencies in 5 states. These assembly constituencies are Rampur and Khatoli in Uttar Pradesh, Padampur in Odisha, Sardar Shahar in Rajasthan, Kurhani in Bihar and Bhanu Pratappur in Chhattisgarh. Elaborate arrangements have been made at all the counting centres. The Election Commission said the results will be updated periodically on its website. People can also access the trends and results on the Commission's Voter Helpline mobile app. In Gujarat, 37 counting centres have been set up covering 182 seats. More than 800 personnel have been deployed for the counting, which includes 182 observers. A micro-observer, counting supervisor and counting assistant are deployed at each counting table. The entire counting process is being videographed. Fate of 1,621 candidates, including Chief Minister Bhupendra Patel, his cabinet colleagues such as Harsh Sanghvi and Jeetu Bhai Waghani, Aam Aadmi Party's Chief Ministerial candidate Isudan Gadvi, youth leaders Hardik Patel, Jignesh Mevani, Alpesh Thakur, Alpesh Khateria and Gopal Italia will be decided today. The elections will also be decisive for women leaders Riva Ba Jadeja, Manisha Vakil, Nimisha Ben Suthar. We have a report.
It will be interesting to see whether the BJP is able to improve its performance compared to 2017 polls and will Congress retain its seats in Saurashtra and North Gujarat and Tribal Belt. There is tough fight between BJP, Congress and Aam Aadmi Party on many seats including Dwarka, Porbandar, Khambhalia, Tharad, Daryapur, Varacha, Katargam, Doraji and Amreli. This time President of Bharati Tribal Party and the sitting MLA of Jagadia, Chotu Bhai Wasawa has contested as an independent. Similarly, the lone winner of NCP from Kutiana in 2017, Kadlal Jadeja is in fray as Samajwadi Party candidate. Amid this, the final political picture will be clear by the end of the day. With Manas Pratim Sharma, this is Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
In Himachal Pradesh, 68 counting halls have been set up at 59 places. Mobile phones, iPads, laptops and other recording devices have been banned at the counting centres. Now we go over live to our correspondent Sanjeev Sundrial in Shimla. Sanjeev, the counting has started and when are the results expected to come out? And what preparations have been made for the counting of votes by the Election Commission?
Pramod, the counting of ballots has started at 8 a.m. and it is likely to be over in half an hour. According to Election Commission, 1,12,834 postal ballots have been received so far. EVM counting will start once the counting of ballot papers is over. Pramod, the trend is expected to start coming at around 9 a.m. and the first result is likely to be declared at around 11 a.m.
Okay.
However, the picture will become more clear by 2 p.m. If we talk about the counting arrangements, 68 counting halls have been set up at 59 places in the entire state, in which 10,000 employees, including security personnel, are deployed for smooth and uninterrupted counting. Pramod?
That's right. Sanjeev, as you said, the picture will be clear within a few hours. But what is the mood among the leaders and workers of the main political parties in the state?
Look, Pramod, as far as the mood of the leaders and workers is concerned, both BJP and Congress are hopeful of getting majority. As you know, the main contest is in the state is between BJP and Congress.
That's right.
However, what has made the contest is interesting in that both the parties are facing rival candidates. The rebels seems to be strong enough at some seats to damage the prospects of official candidates. Pramod, as far as poll issues are concerned, the ruling BJP banked on the development done by the double-engine government in the state and the center. On the other hand, Congress party mainly raised the issue of old pension scheme, unemployment, price rise, and other local issues, including those of apple growers. Pramod.
Thank you so much, Sanjeev, for that update. News Services Division of All India Radio will broadcast special programs on the counting of votes today.
Janadesh 2022.
Results of assembly elections in Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh.
On Thursday, the 8th of December 2022. Stay tuned for result updates every hour in our program Janadesh 2022 from 10 a.m.
Special program in Hindi, Surkhiyon Mein, on discussion and analysis of results from 7:10 p.m. to 7:20 p.m.
In English, Spotlight program Roundup of election results from 9:15 p.m. to 9:30 p.m.
Special program on bilingual discussion and analysis from 9:30 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Tune into FM Gold, Rajdhani Channel and National Network of All India Radio. Also live on News on AIR app.
Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar has said the Supreme Court's 2015 judgment striking down the National Judicial Appointments Commission NJAC Act was a severe compromise of parliamentary sovereignty and disregard of the mandate of the people. Mr. Dhankar cited the NJAC as an example of how the ability of the executive, judiciary and legislature to work within their domains is critical to a democracy. He said democracy blossoms and flourishes when its three facets, legislature, judiciary and executive, scrupulously adhere to their respective domains. Mr. Dhankar was addressing the parliament after assuming the position of the chairman of the Rajya Sabha as the winter session commenced yesterday.
The sublimity of doctrine of separation of powers is realized when the legislature, judiciary and the executive optimally function in tandem and togetherness, meticulously ensuring scrupulous adherence to respective jurisdictional domain. Any incursion by one, howsoever subtle, in the domain of the other has the potential to upset the governance apple cart.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed confidence that the Rajya Sabha will attain a new height under the leadership of the new chairman Jagdeep Dhankar. Welcoming him on the first day of the winter session in the Rajya Sabha, the Prime Minister congratulated Mr. Dhankar for assuming the chair. Mr. Modi said Mr. Dhankar's life is an inspiration for all.
अब एक किसान के बेटे के रूप में आप भी करोड़ों देशवासियों की गांव गरीब और किसान की ऊर्जा का प्रतिनिधित्व कर रहे हैं। आप स्वयं भी सैनिक स्कूल के विद्यार्थी रहे, तो किसान के पुत्र और सैनिक स्कूल के विद्यार्थी के रूप में आप में किसान और जवान दोनों समाहित हैं।
Mr. Modi described the president as Kisan Putra, saying that he has great knowledge of legal matters. President Draupadi Murmu will begin her two-day visit to Uttarakhand from today. Details from our correspondent.
President Draupadi Murmu is visiting Uttarakhand for the first time after assuming the office. A public reception will be held in her honor in Dehradun this evening at the Chief Minister residence. President Murmu will virtually lay foundation stone of development works. All the preparation have been made for the President. Tomorrow, she will visit the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, Mussoorie, where she will address trainee officers. With Raghavesh Pandey, this is Raina, AIR News.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. United States has decided to expand its military presence in Australia to counter the rising threat of China in the Indo-Pacific region. U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin announced that a decision has been taken to upgrade airfields located in northern Australia so that a higher number of U.S. aircrafts can land there. He said air bases in Australia will be upgraded in such a manner that they will be capable of stationing B-52 long-range heavy bomber aircraft, which is US's most advanced bomber aircraft. The announcement comes after a meeting between Australia's Deputy Prime Minister and Defence Minister Richard Marles and Foreign Minister Penny Wong and US Defence Secretary Lloyd Austin and Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Washington. Ircon International Limited has bagged an order in Sri Lanka worth $14.89 million on competitive bidding basis. The Minaratna Public Enterprise was awarded the work for procurement of design, installation, testing, commissioning and certifying of signalling and telecommunication system by the Sri Lankan Railways. The project will be carried out under Indian line of credit equivalent to approximately 122 crore rupees or $14.89 million. The contract period will be of 24 months from the date of signing of the agreement. Union Minister of State for Culture, Meenakshi Lekhi, inaugurated a light and sound show at Pradhan Mantri Sangrahalaya in New Delhi yesterday. The first episode of the show presented the journey of the nation's space program since independence. The 30-minute-long episode depicted how the country has secured a prominent place globally on space technology. Briefing media, Ms. Lekhi said, the world must recognize India's history of scientific mindset and our next generation also should be familiar with it. The cyclonic storm Madlaus over the southwest Bay of Bengal moved nearly west-northwestwards with a speed of 8 km per hour during the past 3 hours and lay centered at about 620 km southeast of Chennai and 530 km east-southeast of Karaikal. Madlaus is very likely to move west-northwestwards and cross Tamil Nadu, Puducherry and adjoining South Andhra coast between Puducherry and Sriharikota, with a maximum speed of 65 to 85 km per hour at around midnight tomorrow. In cricket, Bangladesh beat India by 5 runs in the second one-day international at the Sher-e-Bangla National Stadium, Dhaka, to clinch the 3-match series. Chasing a victory target of 272 runs, India made 266 for 9 in 50 overs yesterday. Earlier, Bangladesh made 271 for 7 in the stipulated 50 overs. For the hosts, Mehdi Hassan Miraz made an unbeaten 183 balls, while Mahmud Allah scored 77 in 96 balls. The two batters added 148 runs to rescue Bangladesh from a tricky position as Bangladesh was 69 for 6 at that stage. The visitors had suffered 1-wicket defeat to Bangladesh in the first match on the 4th of this month. The third ODI will be played at the Zahur Ahmad Chaudhary Stadium in Chattogram on Saturday. And now for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Vaibhav.
Thank you, Pramod. A major story covered by all dailies is the Reserve Bank of India raising the repo rate by 35 basis points to 6.25%, the highest since March 2019, stating that loans and mortgages will get more expensive. The Times of India leads with the headline, Worst of Inflation Over. RBI moderates rate hike to 35 basis points. Arjuna's eye on inflation, states the Financial Express. Dhankar begins winter session, turning NJAC heat on Supreme Court again, is a front-page story in the Indian Express. Parliament is duty-bound to take up NJAC overreach, VP, says the Times of India. And Dhankar, as RS chair, fires NJAC salvo, writes the statesman on Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, sending a strong message to the Supreme Court referring to its 2015 judgment, striking down the National Judicial Appointments Committee Act. And finally, the Indian Express has a story which says, behind Morocco's dream run at World Cup is a secret weapon in the stands, their families.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Counting of votes begins for assembly elections in Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh. Counting also underway for by-polls to Mainpuri Lok Sabha seat and 6 assembly constituencies in 5 states. Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar says striking down of National Judicial Appointments Commission by Supreme Court was severe compromise of parliamentary sovereignty and disregard to people's mandate. President Draupadi Murmu to be on a 2-day visit to Uttarakhand beginning today. US to expand its military presence in Australia to counter rising threat of China in the Indo-Pacific. And in cricket, Bangladesh beat India by 5 runs in the second ODI to clinch the 3-match series. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.